As I said, taco originated here in Lesja in the middle of Norway. That said, taco probably originated at least a dozen places around the world. Here the dish is called mor, but it does look quite familiar. This is their tortilla of the region. Looks like a tortilla, tastes pretty much like a tortilla. It's made with barley. It's delicious. And I'm going to make mor that is halfway between the traditional mor of this region and a Mexican taco. And it always starts with pork. Here I've got two very different cuts of pork, about 2 pounds, 900 grams of pork neck, and about 450 grams, 1 pound of pork belly. I cook the meat in a generous amount of delicious mountain butter. Start off at relatively high temperature to sear the meat and start some of the browning processes, and then reduce to medium. We're adding quite a lot of onions as well to caramelize with the meat. That was 2 onions chopped, and the next ingredients are thyme and a little bit of patience. After about an hour of stirring, the meat is nicely browned. Most of the onions have collapsed. They're wonderfully sweet. The next phase of the cooking process is to add some flavors. First, and perhaps most important, wild oregano. I'm also adding some spices, not these hot Mexican spices, but spices that have a much more Nordic connection. Caraway. It is the most important spice used in Scandinavian aquavit, but also grows wild in parts of the country. Its more exotic cousin, cumin. Allspice, very popular in Norway about a century ago, but it seems to have gone out of fashion. I like it a lot. Then cloves, should really just use 1 because it's quite pungent. I'm using 2. And I pound it until I got a coarse mixture. And a pinch of salt. And it's starting to smell wonderful, not just from the meat, but also from the oregano and the spices. I'll be adding some sweetness as well. Heather honey from the area. And with the sweetness, I think it's always nice to have a little bit of acidity. This here is beer vinegar. You can also use malt vinegar. A couple of tablespoons. As an optional thing, I'm adding some mushroom extract. This here is a Norwegian product, but if you can't find that, you can also use a tablespoon or so of dried mushrooms, for instance, porcini. You can find all the recipes at our website, newscancook.com. In addition to the meat, I'm adding some shredded cabbage, some shredded kale, a little bit of leek, some mild potato chunks, boiled potatoes, and this here is actually the greens of caraway before it's starting to grow seeds. If you can't find that, you can use fresh dill. A little bit of the delicious sour cream from the mountains here.